I'm not even gonna give myself like any nice background for this. We are just going standing in front of plain old white. That's how we're gonna go do things today. Sorry for the long load time. I might. I just wanted to promote this. There's wonderful, wonderful stream with this wonderful, wonderful time slot staring at an IKEA chair for 2 hours. Because the stream title just gave me the giggles, and like it still gives me the giggles just posting that. Posting that. It's. Yeah, this was my idea. I just have OBS in front of my face with this IKEA chair on the screen while I talk about the importance of boredom and other such things. Because what else am I gonna get from this IKEA? The giggles. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's live, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's live. How long was like the how long was the intro for? Because I think that's how long it took me to like prep this and then post this on Twitter. That, hey, I'm live to stare at IKEA. Anyway, what I'm about to say today does not just relate to this IKEA chair. Like that would get monotonous really quick. And at the end of the day, like, when I first thought of this stream idea, I thought, wow, this is going to be like the most boring thing in existence. Which is why I put that on the schedule. This is going to be the most boring stream idea I've ever had. I don't think it worked that way. I actually don't think it works that way. Is the thing to keep in mind. This really isn't that much different from any other like just chatting stream. You know what I mean? This, at the end of the day, you have the VTuber, you have a background, you put one and one together, and you have a just chatting stream. It's that simple. There's not much else to it. So, I'm a lot of that's the way it goes with a lot of things. Things that seem silly are really just very mundane. You know what I mean? So, but no. I wanted to talk about the importance of boredom. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post it somewhere else as well. Just for promotion. Just for the sake of promotion, self-promotion. All right. I don't know why I chose to do that. All right. Will people even like stare at this? Oh, hey Miko. Hey Miko, how do you do? Hey Miko. Hello. Glad to have an audience for this IKEA chair. You know what? I think it can count as a bed. If you can like sleep on it, then it's a bed. That's the way it is. If you can sleep on it, it's a bed. I don't think we need to elaborate on much else. Anyway, what I was going to say a few minutes ago was the importance of boredom, because we live in an age in which we get very stimulated. Our senses get very stimulated. We have phones with us all the time. We have so many media to look and play and read and all that stuff, right? To watch. That's all fine and nice. However, don't you just like walk along some places sometimes without a phone? I mean, most people do that. Like, you just walk around, you shower, you have your shower thoughts. This is just going to be a shower thought stream, which and the shower thoughts are well, they are shower thoughts. in the case of this stream, they are IKEA chair thoughts. I'm not even sitting on an IKEA chair, but whatever. For instance, there is this thought I had about like, what if? What actually, you know what? Before I talk about my thoughts, I will elaborate the kinds of thoughts that I have first, because I think everyone has their own way of thinking, and I find that very fascinating. Some people will just like plan out their lives, every day. Some people like to live in the moment. They like to experience everything in the moment. Some people like to live a bit in the past or the future. And some people like to be as grounded in reality as they can. I am like an ideas guy. You know, I like to think in terms of what ifs. Wouldn't this be cool if this was a thing? Or what would happen if this was a thing? How much sense does this make? What would make sense if this was real? All that kind of thing. All that kind of stuff, right? I like having like a weird idea and then like seeing how much sense things make within that weird little idea. So, and what does make sense within that little idea, what doesn't. So, now that we've established that, here's the question: what if everyone, like some kind of MMO, like some kind of multiplayer video game character, had like a timer right above their head, and that timer just like counts down to when you die, to when that person dies. And this isn't something that like just magically appears one day. This is just something that everyone has always had. I feel like there's a distinct difference between that just appearing one day and that being a thing everyone has always had. Like, if that's a thing that everyone's always had, and I'm going to assume that like we don't discriminate between humans and other animals in this case. I assume other animals have that too. So like, well, first of all, I'm impressed that those animals can read time, but I guess like yeah, that makes sense. If everyone has it, then like, why wouldn't they be able to read that, right? You would learn at some point. Anyway, with animals, how would that go with animals, for instance? Well, first of all, predator animals would know right away to. All right, I should elaborate real quick. The way that this timer works, is that if you get like killed or something like that, the timer takes that into account, right? So like, if you get killed, then the timer will just say, this is the exact time at which you get killed, you know? So there is nothing you can do to like make the timer like to increase or decrease your time. Like, it's just that time, period. Like, down to the second, 100% accurate. Nothing you can do about it, right? So with animals, for instance, well, if there's predator animals looking for prey, then they will just know right away which hunts are failures and which ones are successes. So that's interesting. I guess they would know right away not to go for the ones that have like big timers above their heads. They would just like straight away go for like the ones with timers that are just ticking down to 0 in the moment. They would go for those. Maybe some of them last a few hours, and they have to be persistent. But they just see that like they have just a few hours left. Maybe it's gonna be mine. Maybe it's gonna be mine. And then there's also things like this would be devastating for like parents though. This would be devastating for parents. Like, you birth a child, or maybe it just gets right out of its egg, and you just see the little timer above its head, and you see, oh, this one's not even gonna last like a week, you know? That would be devastating. That would be absolutely devastating. Like, genuinely, that's kind of terrifying. That's kind of heavy. But that's just what I chose to think about. And it's not just animals. It would be people too. And again, this is why it's important to have that different distinction between if it just randomly happened now and if it was just a thing we've always had. The thing about if it's a thing that we've always had, then that seems so much more mundane. You know? A lot of those things are very mundane. I mean, look, I'm making this. I'm not making much sense right now. I'm just saying that like things that are normal in this world are normal in this world. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, obviously, Sherlock. Obviously. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, that would be devastating for like a parent. But on the other hand, wouldn't you like get used to it? Wouldn't at that point people just like be used to seeing those timers above people's heads? Because you would have to. You would just know, okay, like this is when you get dead. Go live with it, you know? I'm not. But yeah. There's another idea I had. There's another weird idea I had, also relating to like little video game logic applied to real life things, such as, for instance, what if everybody had wall hacks? Like, you just can see everybody through the walls. You just know where everybody is at all times, and you know what the bodies of those people are doing. So, like, if they're typing in a computer, well, then you don't see the computer, but you see their fingers, like, typing on the keyboard. You see their heads looking at the screens, and you see a lot more things, because I'll be real with you, I don't think this counts clothes. I do not think this would count clothes. As weird as that sounds, I don't think that it would be like that. So, how would that be? On one hand, like, privacy would be dead, but on the other hand, like, that would be much the same for the people abusing this. Like, you just look at the White House, for instance, and do they guard what goes on in the White House, for example? Do they guard what goes on in, like, these presidential places? Or do they just hire, like, doppelgangers to, like, be those presidents? And do those actual presidents, or other, like, big political figures, do they just go to some really remote places where nobody will see them? Because I would assume that, like, maybe there's a bit of a range on this. Like, the further away someone is, the harder it'll be to see them. There's going to be, like, fog in between your eyes and them, probably. Although I assume that, like, if things are, like, see-through, then you also see through the fog. So that balances it out, I guess. But even then, like, eventually they'll be so far away that they will be smaller than than just the tiniest dot within your eye. They'll be smaller than, like, bacteria at some point. So, how far away would a person have to be for that to happen? That's what I wonder. Like, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. What's the distance that a person would have to be? I'm not going to look it up, though, because I am honoring the stream title of staring at an IKEA chair for 2 hours. If I've done my self-promotion, and I'm not going to do anything more than that. I'm just going to yap on, and I'm not going to look at any websites, because looking at the website involves not looking at this IKEA chair. Yeah, what's up? Did I explore the thing yet about those death counters just being a thing that just randomly happens one day? There is a site for that, but it's not like a completely 100% always accurate site. It just likes, I think that whole death timer site is just a thing that, like, it takes the average age of people roughly it just makes a prediction of how old you'll get, and then it says, okay, this is when you get dead. And I assume it's a prediction based on, like, the average of how old people generally get within your place or something like that. Maybe it reads, like, your IP. Maybe it's not even that. Maybe it just, like, checks averages of people in one place, and then it applies that to everyone. Or maybe it randomizes it a little bit. It could be that. It could be that. Or maybe, like, it takes one date, but then it, like, adds, like, 10%. It adds or takes away 10% from that. It could be that too. I don't know how it works, but I assume it's just, like, a weird little magic trick. I certainly know that it's not something weird. You're doubting about this chair's stability somebody heavily sits on this. Oh, is this like a heavy topic? Is this a heavy topic? It might be a heavy topic. I might have chosen to talk about something a bit scary, but the thing is, I've like been in these horror writer communities, and I've contributed to those things. So that might be part of that. That might be part of why I'm talking the way I am right now. If it was too heavy and like you're uncomfortable with this whole thing, then I do want to apologize. It wasn't my intent. It was just a random thing that entered my head. uh, that's also the thing. Like normalcy. Because I just brought up two things in which, well, if everybody has always had this, then like it's a normal thing. And yeah, that's a weird thing. That's definitely a weird thing. There are people who live much worse than us, but who like it's just normal for them. I've heard horror stories about that, about parents with their kids in places where parents and kids should not be, and then like as they left, the kids were like in this new unfamiliar place that was good for all the parents, but the kids were like, "Let's go home," which shit, that's actually genuinely heavy. That's like an actual thing that like happened somewhere, and I am not going to pursue that topic any further. I'm not going to pursue that story any further. Not on this stream. Not on this stream. No. 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 Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, let's talk a bit about this chair and its beautiful curved triangles. Its beautiful curved triangle legs. They're not even like well, you know. Actually, they do look like triangles, like a musical triangle. You know what I mean? I feel like I can just take a stick, and I can hit the chair with it, and they go bang, ding, 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 ding. You know, I want to hear that. You know what? I'll review this chair real quick. I like its color. It's grey. It's nice and neutral. It's a nice neutral grey. I like that neutral grey color. It has these it has the black. I don't even know what to call these things. They make the chair stable. I know they do that. I know what they do. They keep the chair stable. They make it so the chair doesn't slide around. They are there to increase the friction of this chair, because metal famously doesn't have a lot of friction, does it? They are friction increasers, and I don't know the proper word for them. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's going to bother me. What is the word for those things? I do not know. I do not know. Oh well. Anyway, let's talk a bit about what if humans could just breathe underwater. Now, this is an interesting thing, I think, because underwater is where so much stuff happens that we just haven't explored. And the problem there is, at what point does the pressure become bad enough that we just cannot go down any further? Do you think that would like improve sea research? I definitely think it would do that. The chair is stinky. One wrong move and the legs will bend on one side. That will add additional bar between those legs for extra support, and it will be fine. I will say, I chose the chair that was like on a 50% discount on the IKEA website. And it was like, I think it was IKEA US or something like that. I don't remember the thing saying euros. It was like, it could have been euros. It was either 65 euros or $65. I don't remember which. I don't know if this is a good chair, but it might be a good chair. But I'm going to assume that there's like, I'm going to assume that there is an additional bar between those legs. If you like look under the chair, there definitely is that. There definitely is that. Like, no doubt about it. You just don't see that because you don't see under the chair. You look at it and you expect it to just like not even bend. I expect what you will see. I expect what you like. I expect what you might experience, what you might imagine, is you sit on the chair and those bars will just bend. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think that'll happen. Certainly not. This is a professional chair made by professional people, and I don't know its quality. It might be a good chair though. I like the neutral grey color of the chair. It's a nice chair. It's a semi-nice looking chair. It had high ratings on the IKEA site, but then again, do I trust the ratings on the IKEA site? Is a big question. And the other question to ask is, do I want to buy an IKEA chair? Because you can just as easily go buy like a chair secondhand, and it will cost significantly less than this, assuming you live in the right place. Because now I'm going to talk to you about those secondhand shops. I don't know exactly what they're called in like flea markets. No, no, it's not flea market. It's like shit. Well, they are secondhand stores in any case. I know that like you or like we in the Netherlands, we call those things not the secondhand shops, but like those specific kinds of shops that I mean, we call them trash markets. That might be the English word as well, for all I know. You know, there's a lot of English words that I don't know. You know, it's especially within the mundane things. So anyway, yeah, you can just buy a chair from that. A secondhand one, and if you live in the right place, it was cheaper. However, the thing is, there are there are corporations out there, right, that have bought out some of those stores, some of those secondhand stores, right, and they will make some things a lot more expensive within those things, and there you are then looking at that under the impression that you're going to get something for cheap, that you're going to get a bargain. And yeah, if you live in like a big metropolis area or something like that, then you might suffer from that. Like if you live in some of the big cities, you might suffer from that kind of company. So if that happens, then yeah, you might actually be better off with a chair from IKEA, actually bought within IKEA, or some other kind of store. Now, the thing is, you can just as easily go far away from the big metropolitan area and just go to a I'm gonna keep saying trash market. Trash market there. Get yourself a chair from the secondhand trash market, and you'll be fine. They'll still have stuff that's like properly priced and all that. If you're like going to a new house, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Have fun. Now the reason why I bring this up is because those kinds of corporations I see. Also, it turns out those corporations that bought the secondhand stores. Guess what? It turns out that those guys apparently own little things where you can donate your clothes for charity for the poor people. Do I need to elaborate on this, or can you connect the dots in your head yourself? Yeah. So that basically sounds a lot to me. That sounds suspiciously to me like just the second-hand shop version of Peter, and I do not want to support that. And that's just kind of scummy. Anyway, shit, this guy, jeez, jeez Louise. I've seen a lot of accusations of that, and I've seen some shit. How true it is, I do not know, but it sounds believable considering like corporations. Considering how corporations are, I completely believe it. I completely believe it. You know. The problem though is when blaming corporations, how many of those things involving blaming corporations involves rival corporations? Because there's like what? There's like the whole aspartame causes cancer thing that was clearly invented by the sugar industry, and most people still believe it. So you know, sometimes some conspiracy theories are just like propaganda spread by big money. You know, a lot of those things are. So you have to be skeptical. You have to be skeptical. It's good to be skeptical. Oh dear, this guy. Where did the ideas go? Where did the random little ideas go? Like applying video game logic to real life. That for some reason had. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. See, the thing is, I like to think and like not talk when I'm I like to just think without talking. And right now, like, I will admit, I didn't sleep super well. I've like a headache, and I chose to stream this anyway. That's fine. Did I mention already how this, in part, is how I've mentioned several times. I've had several stream moments on which I said, "Oh well, this is boring. This is kind of boring, isn't it?" Which, again, I've said several times, and I've responded to that. I've immediately said after that no, don't say that. It's bad showbiz. And and right now, I'm going to prove that to myself because I have seen people grind on stream. I have seen people keep on like retrying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again on stream, and I was frustrated, but I still kept on watching. Like, it's fine. People are social animals. You don't. It's weird, but I don't even think you have to be like super clever or witty to just be fun to watch. Because again, we're social animals. We like seeing other people and what they do. As weird as that sounds for me, I'm like the last person. I'm the last kind of person that would pay attention to any kind of like celebrity or whatever. Like, I would rather pay attention to, I don't know, stuff going on in my own life, my own friends, all those kinds of people, those kinds of celebrities. They don't really. I've never met them in my life. I'm not friends with them. I don't you know, all that. I appreciate their art. I can thank them for their art, but other than that, I'm not particularly in the mood to be what? What was the word? The word that people love to use for VTubers. Parasocial. I don't like to be parasocial. I'm not so. I don't like looking up to people like that. But even then, I am still a human, a social animal. I want to see a. I want. I even then, I like seeing people. I like seeing people stream, even if I don't often watch people stream. And like, yeah, that same and yeah, sure, I can say, oh, this moment, I'm grinding. Isn't that a little bit boring for the stream? No, because all the stuff that I just said about me watching other people, I have to realize that same applies regardless of how like clever or witty or funny or unclever or unwitty or unfunny or whatever. No matter what I think of myself, no matter how highly or lowly I think of myself or what I'm doing, people will still watch me just for like the sake of watching another person, just the same way that I watch other streamers, because I like seeing their people, you know? It's kind of like that. We're social animals. It just makes sense. So, in that sense, I really, really, really shouldn't call things boring. First of all, it's bad showbiz. Second of all, again, people just like watching people. I'm a person. And it doesn't matter how much charisma I have. I'm a person. That's the thing, you know? I'm sure there's more to it than that. But it certainly plays a part in this whole thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Recommend me another streamer. I'm going to drink some water. And maybe think. We get to have some water drinking thoughts while we go on with this whole thing. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, we can talk about the meaning of life. That's a fun thing. We can get nice and philosophical today. Hello, Army. I don't know. I like neutral colors. I like neutral colors, Army. I like neutral colors. And just for that, I kind of like this chair. Just for being neutral, you know what I mean? It's not a matter of how pretty it is. I like neutral. I like black and white and grey. It's like, look, I know a lot of people don't care so much about what minimalism and all that kind of stuff. But in my case, oh, you mean the fur? I can give that some I can give that idea a little bit of credit. Like, crap, damn it! Now that you've said it, okay. Here's the thing, right? If you say something looks bad, then people will try and see the bad in those things, right? I thought this was just a nice neutral looking chair. You know, I like grey. I like grey a lot. Grey is my favorite color, and I just picked it randomly because it's grey. However, now that you've mentioned the fur part, I'm that grey. It's bothering me. It's bothering me because like, how much of that is just, I don't know, like fungus or something like that, right? That's bothering me now. And the answer to that is not a lot, but I'm seeing it, you know? I'm seeing it in my head. Because you said there's something bad in it. It doesn't look like that, but it's bothering me now. How could you? How could you? How could you say ugly chair? Ah! Anyway, we're going back to drinking water, and then I will talk about the meaning of life and other such incredible, interesting things. I have my water. Don't mind me. Can move them worse. Honestly, I don't mind. I have strong arms. I'm a strong boy. I can grab that chair and I can just throw it at whatever, wherever I wanted to throw it. Like, I will say, it doesn't look like super light, because like the bottom parts of that Dorito does admittedly like make it a bit heavier than just legs. But then again, the question is, how thick would those legs be, right? So I guess that evens things out. Although, yeah, there's also like less stuff that can go in between the little Doritos. You know, those Doritos are gonna hit things. They're gonna hit things. Oh well. They're gonna touch things. But you know what? I'm still fine with this chair. I didn't even link to this particular chair because I feel like this is an advert for this particular chair. Because it's half off. It's half off. If you just go to the IKEA site right now, it's half off. And I'm not sure how long that's gonna last. It has high ratings on the IKEA site. Again, do I trust the IKEA site? How many of those ratings are like fabricated by the company? How many of them are real? And how many and even if they are real, how many of the bad ratings does the IKEA site like suppress? I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I don't know if IKEA is completely 100% trustworthy and legit, or if they are a bunch of liars. I do not know those things. Like, I don't know if IKEA is a nice guy company or a bad guy company. Do I want to... You know what? Army, you bring a good point. You bring a good point. Blahage means that IKEA is probably... Well, I don't want to say good guy corporation because that that depends entirely on your view of corporations. However, they do have Blahage, and I think a lot of people do like supporting Blahage, and so in that sense, I guess they are good enough for Blahage enjoyers to enjoy. You know what I mean? I'll give IKEA that point. Maybe they are a good guy company, a good enough company for the Blahage enjoyers to enjoy. That's a pretty good big point in favor of IKEA, actually. Well done, IKEA. You've earned like a bit of my respect. Good job, IKEA. That said, I remember things about IKEA. I do recall reading things about IKEA, like what was this? I think it was like somewhere in Ireland. Like there is apparently this restriction that the island put on like how much space your building can take, and IKEA just kind of broke this rule by being IKEA and just having a massive car park to go with it, just like taking up so much space. I don't know if this is a good guy thing to do, or if this is like greed. I don't know which of these two it is. That said, I also don't know much about like how reasonable that Irish law is. It could also not be Ireland. It could be a different country. It could be a completely different country, and I just like missed the mark completely. But in my head, it's Ireland. And the reason for that is because the reason why I think it's Ireland is because, despite not being Irish, I sometimes feel a little Irish on Reddit. I lurk around the Ireland subreddit. And you might wonder, why? Why do you lurk around the Ireland subreddit? And it's simple. It's because there were football games going on, like, earlier this year. This was a football year, you know? Now, the thing about football is, every time England loses, somebody on r/Ireland makes a post saying, country that won, great bunch of lads. And every time I see that post, I just laugh my ass off. I just I can't help it. And so every time it's football season, I just go r/Ireland. I go lurking around. Will England lose this year? Will England lose this year? And even as somebody who doesn't pay attention to like football, like whatsoever, I still pay attention to r/Ireland. I still root against England just because I want to see the post on r/Ireland saying like, I don't know, like France, great bunch of lads. Sadly, they didn't do that with Argentina. Well, one person did that and like got shot down for it because apparently people don't like Argentina. I'm not entirely sure why. I didn't pay much attention. Like, there's always going to be like people complaining about football corruption and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not going to go dig too deep into that. In any case, the important thing is, every time it's football season, just because I want to see the post on r/Ireland, I will cheer against England. And I won't cheer for anyone. I'm the kind of person who, let's put it like this. I'm not a very social person, right? I like being alone and in quiet. So, every time it's football season, besides just every time it's football season, besides cheering against England because I want to see the post on r/Ireland and laugh my ass off at those Irish people, calling the winners a great bunch of lads, I laugh every time. It somehow doesn't get old. Besides that, because I'm like a loner, I like being alone. I cheer against my own country as well, which is not a very patriotic thing to do. It's weird though. Like, if it's World Cup, I will still hope my country wins, which I don't expect it to now with this team. I'll be real with you. Belgium did better than the Netherlands this year. Incredible, Belgium. Like, if you told me, even as a non-football fan, like, I don't know, 14 years ago, that Belgium would, like, I don't know, what was it, 4-1 the USA, and just like do better than the Netherlands and a lot of those other countries in the World Cup, I would call you a dirty liar. But so it happened. So it happened. And like, yeah. A part of me wants my country to win just because my country has like a long history of second places, and just because of that, I do kind of want the Netherlands to win at least one World Cup, and then never again, because I want it to be quiet, and I know there is nobody louder than football fans, you know? It's gonna be loud, extremely loud outside, if my country ever wins. I won't hear, like, the end of it. Or at least, I hope I won't hear it. Let's put it like that. I hope I will hear. I hope I won't hear the end of it, because I hope I won't hear anything at all. Right? And yeah, so basically, apparently, Argentina are not very nice. Is it like the fans though, or is it like the players? Is it the team or is it the players? Because no, I mean, no, is it the players or is it the fans? Is it the team or is it the fans? Because let me tell you, football fans are like well, I'm not gonna make a generalization. However, I will say they have a reputation. They have a reputation as a rather rowdy crowd. And I apologize to all the good people who enjoy football that are now lumped together with the bad crowd. I'm sorry. You know, it's it's partially stereotyping and partially just things that you observe that everyone sees. It's annoying, but it happens. Hooligans. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, what about those controversies regarding IKEA then, huh? Apparently, IKEA did tax fraud. Grass is green. Water is wet. And, corporations did tax fraud. They do green. Yep. A lot of people do greenwashing. Definitely. Like, if something says that it's like bio whatever, or if it's like good for the environment, I don't think I think they get wood from like protected nature reserves. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. That's yep. Yep. That's that sounds about right. Like, I don't believe many of those big corporations to be all that great. As unfortunate as that is, considering these guys are clearly good enough to be supported by the Blahaj enjoyers. But, you know, that's well, yeah. I don't have anything else to say about that. That's just IKEA. If you do want to support this particular chair that I've been looking at, just go to the IKEA website and you'll see it there. It's on discount, and it still looks expensive even on discount for me. But then the thing to keep in mind is, I'm so used to seeing like the cheapest chairs from like secondhand stores and the like, and yeah, it's because of that. Maybe I've been spoiled, and I just don't see the actual like price of those chairs were originally sold at first, instead of just being sold at secondhand for significantly cheaper. I don't know how that system worked. Could be Disney and just that. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. This got into the whole drama thing real quick, didn't it? Just earlier, I was talking about how I like thinking about ideas, and now I will go back into the what ifs, just for the sake of not saying that word anymore. The dreaded D word that stands for Disney. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put on some like a Polybius music. I want to check like how much. Okay, the usual. And unfortunately, this listening to having this music thing open involves doing something that isn't stare at this chair. Actually, I am staring at this chair. Like literally, the screen right in front of me is OBS, and the music player is on the other screen. Here, I'll lower the volume of this a little bit, so I can think better amidst it all. Right? Okay. Now, let's just take this. The meaning of life. Right. That's what I want to talk about. The meaning of life, which is first of all a lovely little film by a lovely little Monty Python film. It's not like Life of Brian. It's not like shit. What was the Arthur film called? I don't remember. The Holy Grail? Monty Python Holy Grail? It could have been that. Anyway. But besides that, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about it. What is the meaning of life? Because people have asked me before, and it's like, does it have a meaning? It's whatever you make of it. But the thing is, it's something you can talk about with some people, and most of them will call you. I think a lot of them. I wouldn't say they're not deep. I think most people are deeper thinkers than you give them credit for. That, or I just give them too much credit. But the meaning of life, it's something that some people talk with me about, and I you know what? I figure I might as well go into that topic now because I can. Okay, look. First of all, what is the meaning? That depends entirely on your religion and all those other things. All right. And as such, it's either whatever you make of it, or it's whatever the big deity that's made us has decided it is. And lovely. But that's not what I'm talking about this for. In my case, it's just like, look, we are hive minds of cells. We literally live to survive and probably reproduce and all that stuff. And the cells in us reproduce, and then we carry on our genes within those cells, yada yada yada. All that stuff, all fine and good. But what do we do with that? I think the meaning of life is to learn. Period. It's that. Look at it like this, right? We are the only people, to our knowledge, to be able to look at the world, the way we do, we have like telescopes, all that stuff. We have all this tech that we can use, and like keep on inventing things and keep on inventing. And as we can keep doing this, I think, well, maybe not the meaning, but the purpose is to learn. Is to keep on learning because we can. There's not much other reason to keep learning other than we just can. And I don't know if like that's what you would hear from me, but look, how many other things are there that can learn as much as we can, right? And the thing is, we can only learn so much while we still live. So I want us to, and the other thing is, you want to help other things live as well, so you want to help other people. So that's also part of the meaning of life. And yeah, and that's my opinion on the meaning of life. It's just like, keep on learning and learning and learning because we can. We will keep inventing because we can, and try to make sure we can do this for as long as we can. And that's my meaning of life. Bam. Now you know. See, several people have asked me this, and it's always a fun little topic. It's always a fun little topic. You like, it's something you can talk with anyone about, because everyone will have a different opinion on this. It's only the kind of thing that like I thought more about like in my early teens. It's only that kind of thing. But I still find it interesting to see what other people think. And that's why I like this kind of topic. A lot of it is either opinion or like objective truth, depending on like how you see the world. So, anyway, what was next on the agenda? I was thinking of something and then I forgot it in the middle of my talking. Oh well, that's life sometimes. Oh right, pseudoscience and MBTI. Okay, here's the thing. I've like talked shit about MBTI before, right? I've talked shit about MBTI before. And like, yeah, sure, what if MBTI were real? There's a reason why that's a what if. Because MBTI is kind of pseudoscience. And I don't think it's real. And I don't think that you can just like divide people in those 4 little categories, which, to be fair, that's not even what MBTI is. I'm going to talk now about MBTI, okay? And part of the reason why I think it's bullshit, and part of the reason why I still enjoy it. Because the thing is, a broken clock is to ride twice a day, right? And that's my take on like most pseudoscience, and most people that I disagree with, and most like, that's my take on most things. Even if I like strongly disagree with something or someone, I still also believe that the broken clock is to ride twice a day. And that's why I still like things like pseudoscience, such as MBTI and other such, and like people that I disagree with. I like hearing people's perspectives, seeing how they see the world, learning, and if I think they're wrong, learning why they're wrong, if they are right, learning why they're right, all that kind of stuff, right? Anyway, MBTI and other such personality trait things. I've not actually given my MBTI type like on stream, even though like on my debut, which I've removed by the way. I've actually removed my debut. Well, I've not removed it, I've like privated it. And the reason why I privated my debut stream is because it contained an artwork in it that's possibly from a broker, and like and at the moment I'm on super hot. I'm incredibly alert regarding that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's guilty until proven innocent, unfortunately. But yeah, I will do like a video that like reviews me later. Anyway, MBTI. First of all, what actually is MBTI? Because the first introduction that most people have to MBTI is like the 4-letter thing on 16 personalities by like Nearest. There's a company called Nearest that I've heard some things about. First of all, I should also point out, they have this other personality trait thing that predates 16 personalities. For real. they have another personality trait thing that predates 60 personalities and that actually more accurately depicts their visions, their views. Because in 60 personalities, it's actually a lie. That's just 32 personalities with like T and A. You have turbulence and assertiveness. That's 60 personalities. And what it essentially is it's the ocean. What 60 personalities is, that site, that MBTI site, it's essentially the ocean personality trait theory, but put into but given the MBTI labels, right? Ocean. I don't remember what the exact acronym is, but all those letters stand for something. I know the O in ocean is openness, the E in ocean is extrovertedness, and I think the N might be neuroticism or something like that, and yada yada yada. A, I think, is agreeableness, and the C, whatever. I don't remember the exact thing, but I know that 16 personalities takes the MBTI letters, like INTJ, ESFP, AT. I know it takes those letters, and yeah, it gives you an ocean profile, but then applies MBTI stereotypes to it. That doesn't even count the T and A parts, which is interesting. The other personality theory thing it had was like it had animals through it, and first of all, it was 4 letters because it took that last letter, and that last letter can be 4 things. It can be a thinker and assertive. It can be a thinker and turbulent. It can be a feeler and assertive. It can be feeler and turbulent. So it did that. That's not what 60 personality does, but it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. They have the exact same label. They have a debate and all that. The thing is, that site is no longer up. However, that thing was a more accurate representation of what Nearest did. But what they did was they instead, because MBTI is so popular and their little theory wasn't, that's why they decided we are MBTI now. And that's why so many people now have this vision of MBTI as just being those letters and nothing else, with A and T added to it, which again is only a 60 personality things and nothing else. I've heard from people who actually bought things from 16 personalities, and I've heard their reviews of it as being just papers full of stereotypes, which honestly, if you ever buy anything off of 60 personalities, you have been scammed, mate. You bought snake oil. Period. I'm just telling you this right now. You just bought snake oil. And that's part of why I'm not massively into MBTI, and yet I still find it fun. Because the reason why I find it fun is I do like categorizing, and I can't help it. But the other thing is, MBTI, it's not that. It's literally not that. The thing about MBTI is that a lot of the actual MBTI, it's a different personality theory. It's okay if you're, for example, INTJ, then what you have is this little thing called cognitive functions, right? So you have and then you have the thinking, feeling, sensing, and intuition. And yeah, that. And what that then means is thinking and feeling, it's logic and emotions, that kind of stuff. And you might think, well, that's nice, but here's the thing. You have introverted functions and extroverted functions, and this is all a little bit convoluted, but bear with me here. The extroverted functions are the things that are just how you interact with the world, how you take in the world. For example, extroverted sensing is you see what's in the here and now, and you take information from the here and now. It's how you process. It's how you process those things. And thinking and feeling is then how you do as what you do with those things. If you want to be considerate to another person, for example, that might be in relation to extroverted feeling and that kind of stuff. Or if you feel much for yourself, and which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. That might be introverted feeling. If if you're a manager and you want to get the job done, that might be extroverted thinking. Or if you keep like having logical systems in your mind, that's like introverted thinking. That's what MBTI is. That's what MBTI is. That literally is what it is. Right? It's not what 60 personalities is. And I find this stuff fascinating. I find it bullshit but fascinating. And again, a breaking clock is a right twice a day. Because even if I don't particularly agree with the idea of leading with FE with extroverted feeling, there are still, I think, important lessons in it. Such as, yes, this is a thing that, such as, caring for people is a thing that's kind of good actually. Or being good at managing is kind of good actually. And within these things are just like little guides on how you can mentally tackle those things. Does that make sense? I think a lot of people do take these things a bit too literally, and they will just read these little descriptions of like their personality traits, and they'll say like, "Oh, haha, I relate to this so much," and then there's this thing called like there's this thing called character bleed. Essentially, it's a roleplay term, right? And what this does is, if you play like a character in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that, or any other roleplay game, then you'll find that you yourself will start acting like your character in real life. Sometimes that's the thing that happens with people. If they just feel like they're in their character, they will behave in character. And I feel like MBTI, for a lot of people, might be an extension of that. If some people will read that, oh, I'm an INTJ, I will now act like an INTJ because I relate to this so much, and I will now act more like this, right? A lot of people just have that. They have this character bleed with MBTI and other such personality trait things. Anyway, sorry about that. Hello, Jack. Sorry about talking about that without saying hello to Jack. Again. And I did not say hello to Army and the other one. Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Well, hello, Miko. Hello, Army. And how are you, Jack? How are you? Anyway, going back to the whole MBTI talk. There's a lot of other like personality trait things, which I could look those things up and like talk to you about them as I look at their sites and all that kind of stuff. However, I have decided that this is a chair looking stream and not a personality trait looking stream. Dear. But okay, there's also things like socionics. There's also like personality trait theories like socionics. Like 5W6, I think that's socionics. It's what that basically means is you have 9 numbers, 1 to 9. When that sound, I know already, this sounds a lot more like, this already sounds a lot more like horoscopes than even MBTI does. You have like nine numbers. Hooray. And then numbers adjacent to those numbers will then further those numbers. Like, for example, if you are a 4, then maybe you like being unique. All that kind of stuff. And if you're a 5, then maybe you like learning things and just like being objective. And maybe if you're a 6, then you like being secure. You maybe have trust issues and you like being secure. Now, these numbers are about people's fears and dreams, essentially. So like if you're a 5, then maybe you fear incompetence. I don't remember the exact thing. Or you fear being useless, that kind of thing. And if you're a 6, then of course you have trust issues, and then maybe that's your fear. So if you're a 5 with a 6 wing within that personality trait theory, then you are someone who likes learning, but maybe have trust issues. Or if you're 5W4, then maybe you're someone who likes learning and like being unique. I don't know all the numbers off the top of my head. I don't know all of that off the top of my head. I've not bothered much with it. And I'm also like, I didn't sleep super well, so I'm not gonna bother much with it. Again, all of these are things that I find complete bullshit. However, the thing is, within those personality type theories, they like to focus on the positive. And some of these, especially like socionics, the one that I just described, it says, well, if this person feels bad, then they will do this thing, right? And some of that is bullshit. However, it also warns of bad behaviors that people genuinely just do. And it can help you, like, recognize those little things. Which, again, broken clock, right twice a day. That's my take. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So again, I think it's complete pseudoscience. I think it's nonsense, but I like it. I enjoy it. And to be real with you, the real reason why I like that stuff is not because a broken clock is the right twice a day. It's because my brain just likes categorizing, and that's all. That's literally all. My brain just like having this system that just sometimes categorizes things for no particular good reason, and I think that's just people, isn't it? That's just people in general. Like, there's no real logic behind it, other than this fits into that. And yeah. And of course, a lot of people like categorizing. That's why MBTI is popular. Another thing I have against MBTI, I'm going to drink some water because my voice is going to die. I've got to drink some water because my voice is going to die. Hang on. Another thing I have against these personality trait things is that there are countries and places that believe more in these personality trait things than is necessary. And it's worrying. I genuinely find that worrying. It's super popular in some countries, like, I don't know, South Korea, for instance, where I've read horror stories about people who are, for instance, labeled ENTP. You don't have to know what those letters mean. All you have to know is people who, for example, have that particular combination of letters just get rejected jobs in some countries from some corporations just because, oh, you are an ENTP, that means you don't listen and you are stubborn and you want to do your own thing instead of work for our company, and therefore you're not getting a job, mate. There are companies that will genuinely just like reject your job, not give you a job because you have the wrong MBTI type. And I do not particularly like that idea. I am really, really not a fan of that idea. Like, you have to acknowledge that it's largely bullshit. And those companies just do not do that. And you might think, oh, well, that's just a small thing. No. It's MBTI, I've read, got massive. It got massive in some countries. It's absolutely crazy. And yes, you can lie about your results. But, and I'm sure a lot of people do. But even then, imagine having to, like, tell your MBTI type to a company that takes it super seriously and believes it could be completely 100% real. And imagine that bullshit just, like, happening across countries. That's what I despise about MBTI. Like, I cannot stand that kind of stuff. It's, yeah. Dear and oh dear. To be fair, I've read similar stories about, like, horoscopes. I've read about this thing in, like, China and other East Asian countries about how there used to be this big stigma against people born in years of the fire horse. And the thing is, because apparently their horoscope tells you that these people are stubborn and competitive and probably won't be all that agreeable. And so there's just, like, reports of abortions in those countries in those, like, this particular years. A fire horse year has happened fairly recently, though, so I don't know if the same happened in that year. They've also, like, had lower birth rates in general in those years, and it's weird. Those are just, like, and I know, again, it's, like, not a super fun subject, but these are just genuine reactions to, like, horoscopes and MBTI types and all that nonsense, all that pseudo-scientific nonsense. And I will be fair, a lot of like the horoscope thing, it's just people not wanting their kids to experience that kind of social stigma, and, like, a lot of people rejecting jobs from those kinds of people born in those years. Those are just people not wanting their companies associated with that kind of stigma, not wanting customers to have, like, seeing that kind of stigma, which is weird. I find that a bit weird. But then again, maybe I'm just like inconsiderate to their cultures. I don't completely know. Maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe I am the weird one. In fact, I think I am the weird one for being judgmental. So, whatever. Dear. Anyway, I will now go back to try and think about things like water. Oh, this goes straight into the pseudoscience thing, right? I think I've talked about this before, but there is this idea that some quote-unquote doctors had about water having a memory. Their logic is that if this water has just touched a little bit of medicine before, or touched this like healing extract once before, and then you take out that extract completely, then the water will still remember. Oh right, I had this little bit. I touched a snake once. Now I have snake oil in me that will heal all these people. That's another wonderful look into the wonderful world of scam pseudoscience, and that's something that I find hilarious because I'm pretty sure I talked about this like before in the Nilgram channel, but like, bro, every time you drink water, you drink dinosaur shit. Every time you drink water, you drink dinosaur shit. You drink dinosaur piss. All that stuff. It would be so cool though, if like that was an actual thing that worked. Like, seriously, you just like put some medicine in some water. You drink the medicine and you just automatically, it's not even placebo, you just become better. Imagine if like water like that could heal everything. Oh, the world would be great. It's water as well, like such an abundant source. Like, such an abundant thing in life is water. Like, I would love that. Please. It's like a necessity in your body as well. But then comes the problem. You just drink some Coke, and is this how Jesus turned water into wine? He just touched some wine once, and then okay, my finger now has like wine on it, and I'm gonna touch this water, and then the water turned into wine. So everyone just enjoys. Yeah, it can also be for poisoning the sun. Like, that's a very taboo. I don't know why I'm laughing now. I think of the sleep. I'm having the giggles. Help me. Lord, help me.
The emergency exits are the 4 doors on the left side of the aircraft.
Ooh, boy.
The 4 doors on the
Oh, right. Shit, now we're on the topic anyway. Antarctica being an ice rink. The whole flat earth thing, but Antarctica being an ice rink. That would be fascinating as well. I've seen an actual map of like the Earth that like pictures Antarctica as an ice rink, but it's not just that, right? There's like apparently just a whole Earth behind that ice rink, according to one of those things, and it looks like a whole ass like D&D map, and it's just like a whole ass world that we've not discovered yet. And I find that so fascinating. I want to see more of that. Please. feed me. Feed me those things. I want to see, like, what the world would look like under that kind of stuff. Isn't there also like the whole thing? Isn't there also like the whole thing where, like, on maps, we look at maps, right? And you have this map of. Whenever you look at the map, countries don't show up as the same size that they are in real life. Wouldn't a flat Earth mean that maps, we would need actually accurate maps? Wouldn't a flat Earth map just show every country, every continent, just right next to each other on a proper scale? What even is the proper scale? If you put like any one country on like a piece of A4, what would be the proper scale of those countries like? Because I'm curious. I want to see that. That's like one of the things that the flat Earth would have. It would have a properly scaled like continents and countries. That would be really cool, actually. I want a flat Earth map just because of that. Just because a flat Earth would have actual properly scaled, properly sized countries. I have to see that. Oh. Oh. Wait. Yeah. The thing about a world map, as well, the thing about any world map, is that like, obviously, it has to have all the continents on it. That's why it's a world map. On a thing like that, you can just put those continents and countries like literally anywhere. So, just go wild, have fun. Oh, that sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. Yeah. One of those even had like a second sun and a second moon. I want to see that. I want to see more of that. It just had more suns and more moons to accommodate for that extra world behind the ice rink. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's bullshit, but it's fascinating. I almost grabbed my phone. Like instinctively, but I can't. This is a chair looking stream, and not a phone grabbing stream. I have to restrict myself and be bored. So, I am going to think now about all kinds of things in life. Extra sun and moon would switch up like everything. Yes. In fact, we are now going to think about the what if there was an extra sun? What if there was an extra moon? Well, there would be a lot of gravity issues and a lot of light issues. Here's the thing. How much hotter would the Earth be with an extra sun? I know there is like this massive other sun somewhere far away in the galaxy, right? And it's just on the verge of exploding. It can explode at any moment now. For all we know, it's already exploded, but we just haven't seen it yet. But once it does that, we don't explode with it. And this is not the same distance as our current sun. However, the thing is, once that happens, we will have two suns in the sky. I assume that second sun won't make the world much hotter, just a lot brighter. And apparently it will bring a lot of neutrinos to our world, which sounds like a dangerous thing, but a lot of things that we don't know sound dangerous. And I've heard that what it really means is, look, I should walk around the planet, I should walk around in your daily life, I should drive by. There's like billions of those things passing through your body every second or something like that, neutrinos. So I'm not too bothered about those things. I don't know the actual number. I could be exaggerating. But yes, there is just like apparently going to be some neutrino star or something like that that's on the verge of exploding. Could be already exploded, but we're too far away to see it. And that will just be a second sun in our sky. And I find that fascinating. I want to see... I'm... There's a part of me that hopes to be alive while that happens. You know? It will certainly like mess up our rhythms and all that kind of stuff. But I want to be alive while that happens. I want to see it. You need like 1 light year of burnt tungsten to catch 1 neutrino or something like that. Yes! So it sounds like a super dangerous thing, but like, no, it's not. It's not. It really, really is not. So, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Oh my god, that reminds me. That reminds me. There's this game that I used to play the shit out of, right? Metroid Prime Hunters. And it has several weapons. It's like, and those weapons are very exaggerated. It has like this grenade launcher. It's like one of the weakest weapons in the game. But what it says is that every bullet that this like rapid fire grenade launcher shoots has a nuclear reactor in it. It has a little nuclear reactor in it. So every time you shoot with it, you just lob a nuke. But that's not the reason why I brought that game up. Because another one of those weapons in that game, it shoots high density neutrinos at your opponent. Which, shit, that must be a lot of neutrinos to be doing damage to your opponent, you know? That's maybe that's why nobody uses that weapon, you know? Yeah, how many neutrinos does it take to actually, like, damage someone? That's a genuine question on my mind right now. How many neutrinos does that have to be? How dense do the neutrinos have to be? How many neutrinos do you need to, like, combine to get a black hole? Or something like that, right? It's I mean, that's... I still can't get over the whole thing about every bullet being a nuclear reactor. I'm saying this out loud now, but I have the giggles about it again. They are such teeny tiny small spherical explosions as well that they throw. That you throw with that thing. It's literally just the game's like rapid fire weapon, but it lobs like grenades. It's quadrillions. I will believe it. Thing is, it looks like an electric weapon as well, and like, isn't electricity all about like the positive and negative charges, as opposed to the neutral ones? Can you electrify someone using only neutral charges? Is that a thing that like you can do? Bro, I mean, you know what? Maybe with enough neutrinos, maybe when you have enough of them, maybe yes. But I kind of have my doubts. Let's be quadrillions. I'm gonna drink some more water. I need water. I like water. Water is good. Water is healthy. Water is good for you. Anyway, what am I thinking about now? How did we even get to that neutrino thing? Okay, it was the sun exploding, the neutrino star exploding, to get like so many neutrinos onto a planet, but to also make our planet a lot brighter. Will it make the planet a lot hotter? No, apparently not. Will it even make the planet brighter? I know that like it'll Tatooine a planet, which apparently like a Star Wars a planet with 2 suns. I'm planning to watch Star Wars at some time soon again, because it's been such a long time since I've watched any Star Wars film. I need to see that again. You know, it's been way too long. How did I get to the neutrino star exploding? I got there from the topic of 2 suns being around the Earth. Okay, that's the thing I'm going to talk about now. What if we actually had 2 suns? Just another star as far away from us as the current sun that we have right now. Play jank Star Wars games, lol. I'm planning to... I want to play like Lego Star Wars at some point. And I hope I know now how to make it not crash. So, that's something to look forward to. Welcome back, Army. Anyway. I would imagine that if we did have a second sun, that's the same size as the current sun. Yeah, certainly the planet would be a lot hotter. how much of that heat would be like trapped? Would be like kept away from us by like the ozone? How much hotter would it actually be? It's a question. Like, would it be unbearably hot? Would we just not survive that? Or would life still be able to thrive on the planet if we had a second sun? I'm genuinely curious. The thing is, like, all the heat from the sun, the thing to keep in mind, still lingers on at night. Double our regular temperature. Yeah, the solar system will probably get destroyed. Double our regular temperature. Probably not. You think it's literally double our regular temperature? You think it's literally double? Because I don't think temperature like works like that for some reason. I think that like temperature, the numbers we use for temperature, I don't think those are literally how like temperature actually works. I think you have to get to I think that like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I don't think it's, is it like, what? I think it's exponential. I think it's like I think it's a multiplier. I think it's like, I don't know. Whatever. What I'm saying is, it would not be a straight line on the graph. Temperature would not be a straight line on the graph. That's my thinking. Yes. Mars, the planet with like no water on it. I still find the idea of like colonizing Mars, terraforming Mars to be fascinating. I don't think it's something that will happen in our lifetimes. And yet, you hear so many like scientists, old-timey scientists especially, talk about how we have to live on Mars, a second planet, a second place for us to live. It's such a fascinating idea. But I think it's an idea that's partially rooted in the fears we had and still continue to have about the health of our current planet. And so this is something that I've especially heard from people from like the 1960s, 70s when the Cold War was going on. I think like especially then, a lot of scientists were very worried about the planet. They still are today, definitely. But yeah, there was like, yeah, the Cold War. It was, I'm happy it turned out the way it did. Let's put it like that. Oof. But yeah, that did spark a lot of very interesting discussions. It's why, like, that whole context is why I'm a massive fan of Carl Sagan's Cosmos. Because so much stuff was made with that context. It makes things heavier. It adds a bit of... it makes you feel those things, you know? It's made people put more effort in the messages they had to, like, write. And I do like that a lot. It's fascinating stuff. That's why, like, I'm a big fan of those kinds of people, of like Carl Sagan and those other. Although there's also some real horror that came out of that era, like Threads. Cold War could have been worse, but you don't think the atmosphere is surviving with double the suns. Yeah, I don't think it is either. It would be hot. It would be very, very hot. Would the water be surviving? Would water be surviving? Would the ozone layer be surviving? Well, radiation, yes. Fair point. But that's... I'm curious. I'm curious about a lot of things, though. I'm a little bit wankerish. Water would, yes. There is water on Mars. Not a lot of it. Not a lot of it. Really not a lot of it, Army. When did life appear on the Earth? Well, yeah, there's a lot of like things that go into that, and that's like literally something that's in like children's books. So I'll look into one of those again at some point. I completely forgot the thing though. It's like that kind of interesting trivia thing that like I like reading and then I forget it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you say that right. All right. I think I've only had like 2 neat, interesting new ideas today. I think people that care about that wanted to immediately build something on Mars. Oh! Neat ideas that I had. I'm going to mind screw you. Real quick. Okay, right? So, we know about this whole, because like, again, big Carl Sagan fan. But again, this is like one of those things that I thought about like in my early teens, because like, I saw like videos of Carl Sagan online, and I was obsessed, mildly. One of the things I thought about then was like dimensions, right? Because there are people like, they like thinking about like the fourth and the second and the second dimension and all that kind of stuff. Which yeah, that kind of stuff interested me as well. And like, one of the ideas I had was like, imagine for example, a 2D game. You have a 2D game, right? And you live just in a 2D game, a side scroller or something like that. It has to be like a side scroller. And you have a floor below you. But what you see in front of you, you are probably like a 3D being. But what you see in front of you, everything around you, is just an endless like, it's just an endless little, it's just 2D. Everything is 2D, but instead of flat, it's infinite. You know what I mean? It's infinitely wide. So, in that sense, which maybe that is how 2D works. What do I know? You just like walk around on there, and you can climb, you can run around, but yeah, you just walk around, and everything is infinitely wide. You're a 3D being, and you just see everything in front of you being 2D. Could you play a 2D game like that? Is there a 2D game that you could play that just like works like that? That's just played in 3D. In that sense. Like, there's no like backgrounds on the left or the right. It's just an infinitely wide like 2D world that you travel. There's no outlines. You just like walk around, and like the things are colored correctly to like help you recognize what it is. If it's green, then maybe that's a leaf. You run around on there. I want to see a video game like that. I want to see a 3D 2D game like that does that. And it would be interesting. It would be a massive mind screw. Like, depth perception would like, you would need massively good depth perception. It would need a really good way to show depth perception for that to work. Which is also a lot harder when there's like no 3D objects other than yourself to look at in the world. It would have to like do that really, really well. But I want to see it. I want to play it. Just for the novelty value. I don't expect that to be a good game, just an interesting one. So like, big rigs but 2D lol. Okay, no. Okay, like, okay. So imagine, like, imagine a completely flat, like, black square, right? Just imagine a completely flat black square, right? And you pick up the black square, and you can look around it. You can look at it. Maybe it's paper or something like that. Now, stretch that black square, the flat part of the black square, stretch it out infinitely. It's still black because the square is black. It's a green square with polka dots. Well, there can be no polka dots in, but like, then with pink polka dots, and it's like green, and the part that like, polka dots on the outside, they will be like infinitely stretched pink on those parts, right? But yeah, imagine just a green square. It's completely flat, and now you completely stretch it out to be infinitely wide, and that's your idea. And you walk around a world that's just made of just that. I think it would be interesting. It wouldn't be a good experience. Probably it wouldn't be a good experience. But it would be a very novel experience. The big rigs about 2D. That is... I can't wrap my head around that. Alright, actually I can. That's like... That's just like... That's either a top-down thing. That's either a top-down game, but... Oh, wait. Big rigs about 2D. Or you are. If that's a side-scroller, then you're just like a rig. And you just hold left. Oh my god! We just described Crazy Bus! That's literally what Crazy Bus is. Because there's no collision in Crazy Bus, because there's nothing to collide against. You just infinitely move left and right, and yes, there's little things there. Oh my god. Crazy Bus is literally 2D big rigs. Crazy Bus is literally 2D big rigs. Incredible. Incredible discovery we just made. I can't believe Crazy Bus is literally 2D big rigs. Incredible. How then we should recognize the enemies in that 2D game? In that 2D 3D game? The way I imagine it, such a 2D 3D game, the way for such a game to be interesting is, first of all, you would want some like a fog effect. You would want to have the idea of some fog, and what this fog does is it gives you a better sense of depth perception, right? You get a little bit of fog and blur for depth perception. Second of all, you want to make bold use of color. If it's like, because I know there's like the whole yellow painter drama going on with people. I don't know how old that is, if that's still relevant. But in this game that I'm describing, I think it's necessary for colors to indicate what they are. Like, red can be enemy, and then green can be like neutral platform. Maybe like what do I know? Yellow can be platform you can reach with a jump. Although then again, there's also like floating platforms and all that kind of stuff. So like maybe it can no. It doesn't have to be a platform you can jump on. It can be a platform you can grab. It can be a ledge you can grab, just like the yellow paint. It can be that. I think you would need like good use of color to like correctly show what everything is in this 2D 3D world. Otherwise, I don't think it's gonna work. If it can hurt you, it has to be one color. If it can't hurt you, if you can hurt it, it has to be a color to indicate that. Yeah. I'm starting to see it, and like, the more I see it, the more I like explore this idea, the more it sounds like doable. The more it sounds like something I might actually like play. The more I think it might actually be just be a good game. Does that make sense? I might enjoy this, like mildly, but I might enjoy this. Again, though, like depth perception would like the whole infinitely wide thing. It would still mess a bit with depth perception, I think. But I would like to see it. Your mouse breaks if you just put a magnet near it. What kind of mouse is it? I'm curious. Everything I have is like wired. For instance, I don't use like wireless mice. I have wired headphones. Wired, like even my controllers, right? I plug in wired. Like, I don't like using these things wireless. I don't know what it is with me and that, but that's just the way I am. The exception, of course, is like handheld gamer consoles and like phones and all that, obviously, and like earbuds. But other than that, I'm a wired kind of guy. What kind of mouse is it? Is it like a thing that happens with some mouses? Some mice? You know what? I'm going to say mouses, just to differentiate between computer. Well, now I'm saying computer mice, so like I can say computer mice. But from this point onward, I have decided that the plural of a computer mouse, of mouse in the context of computer mouse, is mouses. Okay, and the animal can be mice. Okay, I've now decided on that. This is now official. This is proper Ramglish, okay? This is the correct way of speaking. But if you say computer mouse, then you can still say like computer mice. That's fine by me. Oh. Now I have to be careful not to like make the same slip up with the actual animal, because then people will think I'm talking about computer mice. It double clicks all the time. You guessed twin. It double clicks all the time. That's... Oh. So is it like a thing in the mouse? That like... Is it like some dirt in the mouse that just makes it double click? That makes it... Is it like... Or is it responsive? Is it responsive otherwise? I'm curious. It's weird too, because like, if you look at my model, I don't think any of this is wired. You know what? You know what? You get to have a whole look at my model. Just now. Just because I am, just because I got rid of the whole debut thing, you get to have a look at me like this. Very nice. All right, back chair watching. Back at chair watching. Yeah, something makes a double click. Does it? What kind of mouse is it? Like a gaming mouse? Because I know that there's like a button on this mouse that like sometimes just makes things double click. This thing has a double click button, or it has a button where you press it once and then after you press it, then your mouse just double clicks, and you can press it again and then it stops double clicking. Yeah, we've got a weird Mega Buster right arm sometimes. It's not a Mega Buster. It's kind of a Mega Buster. Again, Galaxy Man was on my like was on my Google Doc, but like was on my design doc. So it could be from that. It could also be like Colress from Pokemon. Specifically the Sun and Moon version of him. He has something like that going on as well. I don't know. There just is. I don't know why it's there, but it's there. But it only applies to like mouse buttons, right? It only applies to mouse buttons. I will admit right now, I have tried to make a double click keys, because this mouse had like this mouse again. I've said this several times before, but this mouse has keys at the thumb where I can assign to any keyboard key. I've tried to make this thing double click A and D to semi-cheat in the game but it just doesn't work. It just does not work that way. It has to be an actual click, so it doesn't work on like keyboard keys. And I fully admit that I am a dirty boy who has tried to cheat in a game by essentially setting up a macro, but I didn't. And so, well, I tried, and then I stopped. You know, I'm someone who likes finding things out, but I failed. It didn't work, and so I am now a proud non-macro user, and I can do my tricks legit. So, yay me. Okay, so if you do want to double click, if you do want to like double press a button really fast in any random game that game that needs it, and I don't know what game you played that needs it, but I know one game that does that. And what I do for that is I have A and D set to my mouse buttons, to my mouse thumb buttons, and I have A and D on my keyboard. I just press A on the keyboard and then A again and then like and immediately release. I just tap A as quickly as I can and then immediately press A again on the mouse. Right? That's how I do that. I don't know what game you played that like needs this, but I can do this. And it's super strong. It's super strong. Like no macros whatsoever. I'm such a proud boy. I am such a proud boy of being capable of this. And I regret having even attempted to macro this, because I'm now the proud user of not macroing. You know? Yeah. Your middle mouse button was triple click. Do you need like a replacement, or are you just like, or is your mouse seems fine otherwise? Is the thing though. Your mouse seems fine. Have you tried unplugging it? I'm going to assume that like again it's just something, a little something in your mouse. Sometimes it's a connection issue. Sometimes it's a cable issue. I've had like keyboards that like weren't plugged in correctly, so they would just go crazy pretty quickly. But I have fixed that. I now have like a little USB keyboard that like, I used to have like keyboards that just like you couldn't plug a USB into. I fixed that. And my keyboard now works perfectly fine. So if you're getting yourself a USB keyboard or your USB mouse, get yourself one that you can plug the USB into, because that's going to save you so much cable trouble in the future. Trust me, you want this, right? Get yourself a plug-in mouse. But I like keeping it wired. Keep it wired, but plug it in. Keep it wired, but make it. But yeah, like again, you get it. You unfortunately use a mini mouse, and they don't make those anymore. A mini mouse. A mini mouse. How does a... What is a mini mouse? I don't think I've seen a mini mouse before in my life. And now is it just like a really small mouse? I'm going to assume it's not a really small mouse and it's just like something else entirely. It's just something that's a bit mouse-ish, but it's shaped different to work better with your hands. What is a mini mouse? The mouse, oh, it literally is a mouse, but it's smaller. Is it like a baby mouse? Oh. So, okay. So I was imagining it wasn't the thing I thought, but it is the thing I thought. Huh. Now I'm also thinking, like, there's joysticks around in the world, and it's like, yeah, you can control like the mouse with the joystick. That's something that just exists. That's just a thing that exists. But the thing I was thinking was like an actual joystick, one that you like grip with your hand. And it's incredibly stupid. This is not something that should ever be done in this day and age when there's like perfectly usable mice. In fact, I think my idea is significantly clunkier. But I'm thinking of like a straight up joystick that you hold with your hand, and its default position is in the middle of the screen, and you just move it around in like a square or something like that, and wherever the joystick position is where the mouse is on the screen. It's a silly idea, but like I'm just kind of picturing this in my head, and it feels like something that some people could actually like get used to in a weird way. It's not like the way that like an actual joystick works on like a controller, where you control the mouse with that. When you control the mouse with the joystick on the controller, you're moving it like the same way you move a video game character, right? That's not what I'm picturing. I'm picturing like if the joystick is in the neutral position. If the joystick is in the middle position, then the mouse is in the middle of the screen. You know, that's what I'm picturing right now. And would this be practical? Probably no. But do I want to use it? Yes. Yes, I do. This sounds like a wonderful novelty that I would use like once and then never again on stream to like make my life a bit worse. That feels weird. It probably would be very weird. It probably would be very weird. But I want to try this. So if there's any like controller manufacturers, any like fight stick makers out there in the world that hit my idea, hit me up. I want this thing made, and I want it sent to my house. I want to use this. I want to feel this. Please, and give me a little cut of all the money you make after this wonderful idea. You've heard it here first. The thing is, it feels weird to us, but it feels like if that's just the way that like you use computers, if that were just the way that people use computers, it might actually be like not weird at all. Patent time? Hell yeah, let's patent it. The thing is, it's weird. It feels weird to say this. I'm not sure how different that would be from using like a drawing tablet, because you don't see the screen on the drawing tablet. The difference between that and the drawing tablet, I'll tell you right now, is that on a joystick like that, there would be a joystick like that. It's just naturally wants to go to the middle. It has a spring in it that springs it to the middle, that you feel every time you touch the joystick, right? You move the joystick and you feel the little spring that pulls it back a little bit, right? That's what a joystick has that like that a drawing tablet does not. And that would make it a bit more inconvenient. Like, and you might think, okay, then remove that spring and like just have it in whatever position you want. I'm not sure which would be better. It would have to have a little bit of resistance to like not feel cheap, right? It would have to have a little bit of resistance. But what kind of resistance would it be? I think this actually would not be that different though from a drawing tablet. If you're used to it, it might actually be like genuinely useful. to people that grew up with it, but not that much more useful but not actually more useful than a mouse or an actual drawing tablet. You know what I mean? I feel like it's that. I feel like this would be viable, but not viable enough to be made. So, yeah. Please make it anyway. I want this made. Give me money on my Kickstarter. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, it's gonna have some water again. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love water. How would controlling a character be with that kind of joystick then? If it's like... If it works like that, would you... Would that kind of controller, like if you control a character with that? Because I now realise that because of the whole resistance thing, you wouldn't want that thing to like spring back to the middle when you use it. You would want a little bit of resistance, but you wouldn't want it to spring back to the middle. Then how would controlling a video game character with that be like? Because I feel like if you just hold it in one position, then the video game character will walk in that position. Would a controller like that require a dedicated walking button to make your character walk? Because I feel like it would have to, otherwise your character is just going to aimlessly walk in one direction. The thing though is, that would be genuinely useful as a feature to have in certain games, where you have, sometimes you just have to walk a bit to grind. Sometimes just walking in one direction is all you need to do to grind something. And that would just be built into the controller if I have that. Tank controls exist? Yes. Tank controls. The thing about tank controls is that they're shit, so I mean, not universally. I have but I have my opinions. I would play Tomb Raider with this. What do you mean, okay, zooming? Listen here. Listen here. I've played games older than myself. I grew up with games older than myself. I think I know a thing or two about old games. I think I know a thing or two about Atari, about DOS, about... I think I know a thing or two about old games. Don't tell me Zoomer. Don't call me Zoomer. See? Even you agree. I have played a few games with sound control that I enjoyed. Do I remember the names? No, not in the slightest. So, yeah. Doesn't Bubsy 3D have those kinds of controls? Oh no. Wait. Is that on Steam? I'm going to pause my chair watching for a second because... Oh, thank fuck. Bubsy 3D is not on Steam. Or if it is, it's just not titled Bubsy. Bubsy 4D was released just 2 months ago. Bubsy 4D. Very positive reviews on Bubsy 4D. Alright, enough of that. Back to chair watching. Back to chair watching. I know Bubsy 1 and 2 are on Steam. Bubsy even still makes new games, which I'm not sure about the quality of the games. If like the reviews on a Bubsy game are all very positive, then either that's ironic or it's just a genuinely good game. I'm not sure which is which. I'm not sure which to trust. You know? You have them. Now, I will say, in my opinion on Bubsy is, it's playable. It's just playable. It's like not the worst game in the world. It's okay. A lot of the games are like alright. I think it's mostly like Bubsy 3D, especially, that like gave Bubsy one of the worst names, and the cartoon. The Bubsy cartoon definitely did a few things to Bubsy. I think it's those two things. That said, I want to play Bubsy 3D. I want to play Bubsy 3D. I've seen one of its game over screens, and I burst out laughing at that game over screen. It's the one in which Bubsy just shatters, just explodes and shatters into a million glass pieces. I saw that once and I laughed my ass off at how absolutely sudden it is. I genuinely think that's one of the funniest game over screens, and I want to give Bubsy credit for actually being genuinely funny for once in his life. I genuinely love that game over screen, and I want to see more. I want to see more like it. If that's what Bubsy is capable of, then I want to see what else Bubsy 3D has. I'm not like. It's weird because like I sometimes make myself come across as this cynic. Sometimes sounds like this cynic who like wants to play games because they're crap and all that kind of stuff. But in truth, it's weird because I think I've been like I've hung around with slightly negative Nancy's, which of course influences me to be slightly negative Nancy. But then at my core, I'm like a kind of guy who really just like enjoys a lot of things. And so, yes, I can handle these things that I might think, because I've hung out with the kind of people who think those things are bad. I might think those things are bad, but that's really just like peer pressure at the end of the day, isn't it? I think I can handle those kinds of games. I think I can play Bubsy 3D and possibly get enjoyment out of it. I think if anyone is capable of that thing, it's me. In fact, because my expectations of Bubsy 3D are so low, I think I might genuinely enjoy it, and within the very back of my head, I might even think it's a slightly good game. You know? Despite what peer pressure tells me, despite what everyone else tells me. And I think I like trusting myself. I like the idea of trusting myself. You know? You don't need other people to tell you how much you like other things. You know? That's... Other people's opinions are not yours. That's like a big thing in life. And yes. I'll drink a little bit more. Can you imagine if Bubsy was like a big mainstream name, like as big as Mario, as big as Sonic, as big as Pikachu, those kinds of characters? Can you imagine that world where just like normal everyday people, like the guy that you go to work with, just like randomly at some point starts referencing Bubsy, like, what could possibly go wrong? I don't remember exactly how Bubsy sounds, because I remember his voice being a little bit grating, but like, even though I say it's a little bit grating, I don't even mind his voice that much, you know? He's just a character. He's just like a little cartoon character. He's just a little cartoon cat. Mm-hmm. One thing that would certainly happen if that were real. First of all, can you imagine the Bubsy fandom? The Bubsy fandom just making their own Bubsy OCs. Just the same way that they make like Pokemon OCs and Sonic OCs and the like. Bubsy 3D. Wait. Okay, wait. Yeah, wait. That reminds me of another thing that I've said this several times before on stream, but yes, sometimes voice actors can be funny in terms of the character that they voice. I've mentioned several times by now that Cortana is voiced by Toad. Cortana is voiced by Toad. Doesn't even sound like laughing anymore, yeah. I used to have like this really wheezy laugh, like that you just couldn't hear. And the reason for that was because, as a kid, like, when I watched movies, right, I laughed really hard at those films, and when I watched funny movies, back when I still watched movies as a kid, I would laugh really hard, and people hated it. People hated me laughing so hard. I was being inconsiderate to the fellow filmgoers. And because of that, I just like developed this really, really quiet laugh. Just simply because of that. And I've only like only recently, like on stream and like in voice chats, did I gain back my my non-quiet laugh. That makes sense. So I used to be a really, really quiet laugher, to be considerate, which I'm still capable of that, and I still do like wheeze and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. I'm a giggly boy. But yeah, anyway, Cortana is Toad, which I think I've said this before on stream, but like, just imagine you like open, you go on Windows, you open up your Windows operating system, you ask Cortana something like hey Cortana, what's the I'm gonna need some water before I do what I'm about to do. Don't mind me. Hey Cortana, what is 1 divided by 0?
That's a paradox! That's a paradox! I can't believe you would do this, Ron!
I hate Cortana too. It's literally Bonzi Buddy, but except like Microsoft gave it a coolish name. Not like I'll call it the coolest name. It worked in 2 hours have not passed. I'm not counting the intro. We didn't stare at this IKEA chair in the intro. I'm giving it 3 more minutes, and I'll listen to like this Tempest 2000 track while this goes on, because I can. Yeah, I'm not counting the intro. I'll give it like how many minutes was the intro? How many minutes was the intro? I'll give a look at that. Let's say like what? I'll give it like 3-4 minutes. 3-4 minutes, yeah. Really want to make the most out of these. Really want all of those 2 hours in this whole for this chair. Oh, the intro was an hour. So you're saying you want 1 more hour of me? That's what you're saying, Jack. I am such a charismatic boy. I am such a lovely charismatic boy who talks about things that like make no sense. And I didn't expect to be listening to Tempest 2000 today, but I did. You want to listen to me talk more? You like hearing me talk? See, that's part of why I streamed this. Like, again, I had so little confidence in this idea until, again, I realized, wait, that's literally just a just talking stream. That's literally just a just talking stream, what I'm having here. All it is, even if it involves me staring at an IKEA chair for 2 hours, I can talk during that staring at an IKEA chair. That's all fine. The funny thing is, I'm not even looking at that IKEA chair like on the screen. I'm looking away from the IKEA chair on stream. I'm looking the other way. Like, you don't see the back of my head or anything like that. Like, even when I do that, I'm not actually looking at the IKEA chair. Right? I'm not. Oh well. What was this again? You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna do the soy face. I'm gonna do no, not that face, but like I'm gonna do the colon 3 face. While looking at the chair. Yeah, imagine me doing that for 2 hours. Or doing like with the colon 3 cat smiley. Imagine if the stream were just 2 hours of that. Hog! The thing is, even then, like, I'm not actually looking at the chair. Now I'm looking away from the chair. Anyway, yeah. I can sit on the chair. I can sit on the chair. Wait, that's not sitting on the chair. Hang on. I'm not even looking at my OBS, which is where the chair is. So I kind of told you a porcupine. I kind of told you a porcupine. Hang on, I need to see where the chair is. Okay, there we go. 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 Now I'm sitting on the chair. Now I'm sitting on the chair. We did it. We did it. We're sitting on the chair. We've achieved chair sitting. It's here. It's here. I'm just standing in front of the chair. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. See, my legs are above. My legs are above the chair legs. My legs are above the chair legs. What do you mean? I'm sitting. I'm properly sitting on the chair now. What do you mean? All right. I think I've had my 2 hours now. Do you know about the Lord of the Rings ad they show you on flights? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. I look like a really tiny Elijah Wood right now. Of course I look tiny, because I'm a tiny boy. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, there we go. Alright. Anyway, yeah, 2 hours have passed now. I think 2 hours have passed now. I think I can, I think I can end the stream soon. Unless you guys want, a bit more talk, but I think we've had enough, like, random chattering. I think we've chatted enough for now. So, I'll go to the outro now, I think. Unless you guys have anything else to say. Well, I should have my closing word, which is, yeah, this was an interesting idea that I had so little confidence in at first until I realized, wait, no, it's not boring, and people will watch anything. Might as well roll the outro. So yeah, my closing word is just several things that I've already said on stream several times at this point, and they are still such an important thing to know. Like, you can watch literally anyone. People are social creatures, and don't worry about what they have to say about themselves, because you can make your own opinions. And all that other noise. And, yeah. This was a confidence boost, actually, to be honest with you. This was honestly a confidence boost. Because I've had my moments. I've had my moments calling some things like boring on stream when, really? No. People are social creatures. People are social creatures. People will watch someone cry, because I do the same. I do much the same. Alright, that's that then. And, yeah. And, now, I will give my thanks. First of all, thank you, Miko. Thank you, Army. Thank you, Jack. And thank you to anybody else who watched today. I will now go to the outro screen in 3, 2, 1, click. It's okay, Kevin. You can listen to me say this now. Hi, Kevin. Bye, Kevin. You can just pretend that the chair this guy sits on right now is an IKEA chair, you know? Yeah. So you can watch it. So, is that an IKEA chair? Maybe he got it from, like, what, future IKEA? Yeah. Okay. Maybe he is sitting on an IKEA chair right now. I think it's a little snooze. I'm going to pretend it's an IKEA chair now. You know what? It is now. I've decided that it now is an IKEA chair. Alright, anyway, muting myself now.